Da-na-na-na-na-na. Welcome to the All Things Sports Podcast, episode 6, week 6. This is gonna be a fun one, I think. Well, actually, one of our better ideas. We got we're gonna be reacting to the draft, the NFL draft live. We're gonna be talking about why these picks make sense, whether we like the pick or not. Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. We're also going to be going over the Red Sox are playing right now. They've been playing good. But what else can we talk about? We can talk about how we just started an Instagram account at All Things Sports Podcast, all lowercase, no spaces. We're trying to DM some players to get some interviews, which I think would be really cool content. Even if it was like a low-level bullpen guy for the Red Sox, it'd still be cool to hear what's going on inside the clubhouse and the atmosphere for those teams. So if you would follow us there, it would really help us out.
Subscribe, like the video before it starts. Should we start off with the Boston Sports Roundup?
I think we should.
All right, starting off, first team we're going to talk about, the Red Sox. They've been red hot. They're still first in the AL East, 4-1 in the last 5. They've been playing great. What are your thoughts on them?
Rafi! Come on, boy, Devers. They've been amazing. I love watching them. Pavetta pitched so well last night.
Yeah.
And Richards pitched really, really good also the day before. Like the two guys in your rotation were supposed to be bad, but they were awesome.
The last 3 games we scored 3 runs and we've won both of them. We beat
DeGrom
last night.
Yeah,
everybody's still playing amazing. Dahlbeck hit his first homer.
Yeah, that's good to see. Get that, because I feel like he was hitting the ball really well. It was just sort of like a little, almost like a hump on your back. You just got to get over it, and then once he is, now I feel like he's going to start heating up a little bit with home runs.
Yeah, they're fun to watch.
I know. They're looking good. Hopefully it keeps going well.
On to our next team, the Celtics. We thought they were going to make a run. They started a winning streak, and now they've just kind of started losing. They're 1-2 after that Nets game that we talked about last week, and they're just not winning games that we need to win. They lost to the Hornets and another team, and then they beat the Hornets last night too.
Yeah, it's just sometimes it's hard to watch them. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what's wrong because they'll have a great defensive game one night, then the other night they'll be awful. Same with like rebounding, 3-point shooting. Tatum was out for one of those games. Brown scored 39 and they still lost.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating to watch them sometimes. They should be better than they are. But we'll see if they can turn it around before the playoffs. But the big thing is not being in that play-in tournament.
Yeah, that would be huge. And I saw this thing that I thought we could talk about. It's that if we're the 6th seed, our potential matchups are Milwaukee and then Philly. But if we're the 5th seed, our potential matchups are Atlanta and then Brooklyn. So I was going to ask you, what would you rather have, Milwaukee, Philly, or Atlanta, Brooklyn?
I'd rather play Philly because we own Philadelphia in the playoffs.
But you think we can get through Milwaukee? Like, we have a more chance of beating Milwaukee and Philly than... It's tough. It's tough,
but I just don't want to play Brooklyn.
Yeah, I think another one of the answers was, like, if, depending on Brooklyn's, like, injury status.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, on to our next team, the Bruins. They've only played 2 since last week, and they played the Penguins both times. They split the series with them.
The first one was a tough loss.
It was a tough loss.
That was a real game they needed to win.
With them too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But they came back the next game. Hall scored a goal. They played really well, I thought.
Yeah. We also have the Sabres the next 2 games. They're playing them right now. I don't know the score. No,
it was 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So if we keep that up and that'd be huge because I counted like 8 games left in the season. So it's really
good.
On to the
Let's save
Pats.
the
No
Patriots. I think
Pats.
we should save the
Yeah,
Patriots
yeah.
for
Save them
for
for
when their
later.
draft pick comes up. But I
And
think we should. Is there anything
that's
else
good
we need to talk
news,
about?
except that
Aaron
NFL
Rodgers.
news. Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers
Rodgers wants out of Green Bay.
which is crazy. And also which isn't a biggest trade, but it has big draft implications of the Carolina Panthers trading Teddy Bridgewater to the Broncos.
Yeah, it does. I don't know if that means the Broncos don't need a quarterback anymore. They're not going to trade up. But
Yeah.
well, I don't think the
The
Broncos are
worst
going to
case.
take one. I mean, that may mean that one drops to the Patriots because that was the team, right? In between the
So
Patriots
the
and
the
the
best case
top four.
scenario is now the Panthers and the Broncos don't take a quarterback, but the worst case scenario is that the Broncos want a little like matchup over there with Bridgewater and Drew Lock, and then the Panthers also want a battle for QB if they draft one, battle Sam Donald. So it's gonna be
Yeah,
interesting. We have the draft on right now, so it's gonna be close. Should we move on
yeah.
to draft?
Yeah, let's move on to the NFL draft. Uh, I did have the first pick queued, but I kind of lost that. But
Yeah,
with the
no
first
problem.
pick in the 2021 NFL draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence, quarterback out of Clemson. Um, Everyone knew this pick was going to happen unless something crazy happened.
Yeah.
But it's a good pick.
That's the best thing. I had a couple questions I was gonna ask you. You can
You're hold on.
watch
You're
tell
lagging a
me
little bit,
those
Nate.
highlights.
Nate, you're lagging a little bit. I think let me talk about Trevor Lawrence for a little bit. He's a quarterback that
Yeah,
has some mobility. He's got a great arm, and I mean, he just looked composed in the pocket. He's going to be a sure thing, a superstar. Maybe not superstar, but he'll definitely be a star. Anything you want to add?
yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, yeah. It's just I was gonna ask, like,
Looks like we had a little lag there, but we're back. And like we were saying about the Jets pick, Trevor Lawrence, I think it's a great pick. You have any thoughts about it, Nate?
I think it's obviously a great pick. He's clear cut number one prospect. Much that he didn't win the championship, lost to the Alabama team, which was hard. No, he lost to the Ohio State team. That was a big game. But he'll bounce back definitely from that loss. It will be see what they do
It will
with
be
that offense
extremely
next year.
interesting
And
to see what they do. And we are a little bit
with
behind in the draft, so they're actually picking right now. So I think we're going to move on to the Jets pick, Zach Wilson. Um,
Zach Wilson, incredible. Another one of those guys that is just amazing on film. He had a great pro day. 33 TD passes, only 3 interceptions. And everybody really knew he was gonna get picked here. What are your thoughts on Zach Wilson?
I actually think he's the best quarterback in the draft class.
Really?
I think he has more upside than Trevor Lawrence does. He is so good improvising the play on play action. He looks a lot like Mahomes and Rodgers, and those are typically the guys that succeed at the NFL level. I know Brady's sort of an outlier with just being a pocket passer, but you look at the guys that can improvise when the play breaks down. Zach Wilson stands out to you in this draft class. And may I mention playing at BYU, which is not a top tier program, so he's not playing with all 5-star recruits. And
Yeah,
he
you
showed
you
out.
know in the BYU in the BYU thing that he isn't playing with 5-star recruits, but it's also that he isn't playing against them as much either
That's
as a
true.
person like Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence or Mac Jones, somebody who isn't playing against them but is playing with them. So it would be interesting to see another guy. He's in the past division, so we're not really
Yeah.
rooting for him at all. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, something crazy just happened. Let's talk about the 49ers pick. And I would just like to point out, I called it. Trey Lance with the
Yep.
third overall pick
Yep.
goes to the San
That's
Francisco
crazy.
49ers.
That's crazy.
Like I said,
That's
they took
crazy.
Shanahan took Robert Griffin III.
Hmm.
I'm not surprised he took an athletic quarterback here. I think, especially with that 49ers system, they have George Kittle. They have guys that can run the ball. They can run the option. They can throw to their tight ends. So a guy that can scramble out of the pocket makes a lot of sense in this spot. That's why I just don't think Mac Jones is the right fit for the 49ers.
Yeah, and like we've been talking about with Lance versus, he's great. He has a strong arm, can deliver it to anywhere. And what we should start doing, Toby, right now, we should put our pick in for who thinks is gonna go next, because now we have an idea, so we can right now say I'm sticking with Kyle Pitts. I think he's going to Atlanta.
I
They've
think
looked at him too much.
I think that people are going to start to panic about the quarterback situation, and Fields is going to be the guy because teams are
Yes,
going to be panicking.
we're both sticking with our picks.
Uh,
It's gonna be interesting to see. It's
we'll
gonna be
see.
interesting. Yeah.
Because I think the Falcons, the right move is to not take quarterback this year, but to take one next year. But you can't really do that because there's not a lot of good quarterback prospects next year. I think you can't really pass up the opportunity to take Justin Fields right here if you're Atlanta.
Yeah,
A guy that grew up in Georgia.
if I was Atlanta, I would definitely take Justin Fields. But they've met with Kyle Pitts too much. I just see it. I think it's a hard time with them passing on it.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying with that. I think I actually think that Pitts is the might be the right pick because he's going to be he's a sure thing for me. I think he's going to be probably the best player in the draft. Uh, like better than the quarterbacks. He just looks so good on film. He's so athletic, so big. He's going to catch touchdowns. That's what he's going to go do. But
He's gonna have some fantasy implications of where he's gonna get
yeah, I
picked
know.
and
But
stuff.
Fields, on the other hand, like your team is so centered around a quarterback, you might want to use that
Mhm.
high pick on the quarterback. I think it's a good thing to
The
do.
stuff that the experts are saying about Fields is that he like only looks at that first option and then he like just stays with that option,
Yeah,
which is
but I feel
interesting.
like
They've
that's
also
something that can be taught,
exactly, yeah.
especially if he has Jones, Ridley, and they'll be able to get other guys to help him out.
Yeah,
But I
they've
think
also,
Matt
you can never
Ryan,
yeah, keep going.
you can learn under Matt Ryan. He's a great quarterback. You
Yeah.
can definitely give him some pointers and yeah, I don't know. I mean, just looking
Yeah.
at, by the way, are you watching the Trey Lance like film right now, Heva? Because you see, like, he is super athletic. He is
Oh
really,
yeah, he's
really
so
good.
fast and it's incredible. Another thing about Fields is about what the experts say. They're not. I mean, they say he's not tough, which I think is just totally out of the world. You just think back to the Clemson game where he got rocked. You remember that when he just got
Yeah, I
rocked and
know.
when he got back up, and did he throw a touchdown on the next pass, something like
I
that?
think he did, or he came back in and they dominated Clemson. He played amazing. I really, I think Justin Fields is a great quarterback. I think all four of these guys are going to be good at the NFL level with the right coaching. Uh,
Yeah. Back to Trey Lance is he's the fifth youngest quarterback to ever be drafted. Which is
you see that
interesting.
truck right there? He just ran a guy over.
Yeah, he's an
He's big
incredible
too. He's
athlete.
tough. He's big and physical. They can run like quarterback draws with him, and with that great blocking O line plus the tight ends, I think the
Yeah,
49ers offense is going to be really good. I would
another
like to
thing to
point
think
out
about.
I'm one of the sleepers right there. Not a lot of people thought they were going to take
Yeah,
Trey Lance. I
that's
kind of
true. That's true.
yeah, it's crazy.
Another thing to talk about with the 49ers selecting Lance is what do you think is going to happen to Jimmy G?
Ooh, come on, trade him
Because
to New England. You know what I'm saying?
there was talks about New England, but they just came out that it's not going to happen anytime soon. They did like think about the contract more, and
Yeah,
it's a whole mess. But he's over there. He's over there. Now he's saying, "All right, I got a QB race in San Fran with
yeah. I
this kid.
mean,
That's an
while we
incredible
wait for this
athlete."
next pick to come up, there's a sign in the background of the on NFL Network that says "Free Josh Gordon." Gordon, by the way, has been suspended for like the eighth time for for a DUI.
How many
I
more
think that's
times until he's out for
I don't
good?
know. I think they just keep on suspending him for like 16 games, 18 games.
I think there's a thing that like how many times that you're
Maybe he's not
suspended and
allowed
then
back in the
you're
league now.
done.
I don't know.
Yeah, he might be. Interesting to see. And the Falcons pick is in.
The pick is in. Woo! Who could it be? This is
It's
actually a huge spot, I think. This is like where the draft is either gonna turn like head over heels,
yeah.
something crazy is gonna happen, or it's just
It's
gonna
gonna
keep
be I don't know because there's
is it
it's so
Pitts?
tight between Fields and Pitts
Yeah,
and it's crazy. I
it's
don't know.
crazy.
All right, and the fourth pick, as I predicted, Kyle Pitts is an Atlanta Falcon. We both threw a 3 and 4 in our picks. I have Kyle Pitts, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence right. Toby has the first three: Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, and Trevor Lawrence right. What are your thoughts on this pick?
I love this pick. I mean, Pitts is, I think for me, the best player in this draft class. He's so fast. He runs a 4.4 and he's almost 6'6", 245 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
He had 0 drops this year on 49 catchable passes. That is insane. That's so good. He also he torches man. He beats some of the most physical corners. He um he runs super crisp routes. He's a lot like Darren Waller, but I think he's going to be better than Waller. I think Kyle Pitts is going to be the best tight end in the league. First year playing in the NFL. He has all the makings to be a great NFL player. I think he's going to be a 1,000-yard receiving tight end. I think he's going to catch 15 touchdown passes, have like 80 catches, especially with Matt
Mm-hmm.
Ryan throwing him the ball. The Atlanta offense is going to put up 40 points per game.
It's gonna be crazy there in Atlanta with Julio, Calvin Ridley, and Kyle Pitts. And another thing I just saw is it just highlights how crazy of a tight end prospect he is. It's the first the highest prospect tight end drafted since 1960, which is just crazy to think about. He had 12 season only 8 games, 770 yards. He averaged 17.9 yards per catch. So every time he caught the ball, he was basically getting the first down plus basically another first down. 43 receptions.
Yeah.
Our next pick, our next pick,
Is the Cincinnati
the pick is
Bengals.
actually in. The pick is already in, but the Cincinnati Bengals, we're both sticking with our Penei Sewell pick,
Penei Sewell
or are you
or that
going to
guy
Jamar
Slater
Chase or
from
something?
Northwestern.
Ooh,
I'm telling you, that could be the pick right here. We'll see.
that could be the pick, or what they're all saying right now is it's Joe Burrow. He's calling the show. He wants Jamar Chase back.
It's
He wants
possible.
him.
We'll see. We'll
It's
see in a
definitely
second.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah. With the 5th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Jamar Chase. I'm shocked because I like Joe Burrow's gonna tear his ACL again, dude. But at the same time, Miami, that was the guy everyone thought Miami was gonna take, right? Chase goes to
Yeah.
Miami. And so I'm curious now what's gonna happen with Miami, but let's talk about a little bit about my guy Jamar Chase because do you have anything you want to say about him?
Yeah, I mean, he awarded the best wide receiver in 2019. You have to remember he did opt out last season, so he hasn't played a real game in a year or so. So he might be a little rusty. We'll see, but he's back with his old teammate Joe Burrow. I guess he's calling the shots over there, and he is gonna take the risk of getting injured again. In 2019, he had 1,700 yards, 20 TDs, 84 receptions. He averaged 21.2 yards every time he caught the ball, which is another crazy stat.
He's so
And
good. Like the ability to
yeah,
high point the football, and he's pretty athletic too for his size. Like but he's such a good route runner, and the ability like for him to go up and get the ball at its highest point. It's just great. It's great to see. He's really good, and I think he's gonna excel at the next level. especially with Burrow throwing the ball since they were teammates in college. But Burrow might
And
die
this
this
pick,
year.
this pick has a lot of implications on our next pick. So what is your prediction for the Dolphins to select? Because
I think the
it's
Dolphins
going to be
stay
tight.
wide receiver here because they already picked, so I don't think they have a trade planned. Um,
Yeah.
I think they go. I think they go. Honestly, I think Devontae Smith might be the pick here. I know I said Waddle's better than him, but I don't think the
Yeah.
Dolphins want Waddle. I think they want a guy that can play on the outside, and I don't think Waddle's an outside receiver. He's more of a slot guy. But Smith can play on the outside and burn someone.
I think Smith is actually the better wide receiver, as we've had this debate, and I
Yeah,
think they're going to take Waddle because I think they're going to go for his speed, and it's gonna be crazy to see.
yeah,
It's gonna be interesting. And of course, Miami is also in the Pac division, so we're not rooting for them. So we want them to take the worst player. Um, it's crazy what a pick they just had to just screw up the whole draft. Real.
I know.
We both got that one wrong.
I think the Dolphins have 2 first-round picks, though, right? They have one later in the draft. I think it's
They have one at
19th or
18.
18th.
18,
18.
yeah.
So I think they go. I think they could also go offensive line here because they do need offensive line help, and then
Mm-hmm.
take a guy like Rashard Bateman in a later pick. But
Yeah,
I definitely see them
they
going
could
Smith or
definitely do
Waddle
that.
here. I
Yeah.
think we'll see. The pick is in, and we will we will talk about it when the pick comes in.
All right, and pick number 6 is in, and Miami Dolphins select
They
as
selected
predicted just 2 minutes ago. They
Jalen
select
Waddle.
Waddle out of Alabama. It's crazy because now Smith is still on the board. Still have that offensive lineman on the board. Line picking. What are your thoughts on this pick of Waddle?
I love this pick. I think Waddle is the best receiver in this class. I think he's even better than Chase. He missed a lot of this season with an ankle injury, uh,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, he can also go up and high point the football, and he is so fast, like Tyreek Hill comparison. He's super quick as well. He can play in the slot. He can run the ball if you want to run a jet sweep, and he is an elite punt returner and kick returner. He'll get them points on special teams, and the Dolphins are a team that likes those scrappy points with Coach Flores. Um, I think
Yeah,
that
he was
I think
he
this
was
is
all
I just think it's a
SEC
great
team.
pick.
Yeah, it's a great pick. He's gonna be playing against the Pats, so it's gonna be interesting to see how they contain his speed. He was all SEC team in 2019. Andrew this put up 591 yards, 4 TDs, 28 receptions when he was playing. And he averaged 21.1 yards per catch when playing with Devonta Smith, who was still on the board, the Heisman Trophy winner.
It's important
And
to
he's
note
only
though that
5'10",
Waddle was the one getting the targets when him and Smith were on the field.
Mhm.
Smith only really started getting all those targets when Waddle went off the field. So Waddle was that number one guy for Alabama, which is why I think you can't rate Smith over him on skill level. But me and Nate have
Yeah,
talked about that on past podcasts. Who's the better receiver? But I think this is a great pick for Miami. Either one of these guys, either one of these Bama receivers would have been a great selection.
yeah, they're both incredible. They both just won a championship. They both done under Nick Saban, so they've learned a lot there. And now
Um,
the Lions pick is in. So what are your
Moving
what are
on to this
your
pick, it's gotta be Devontae Smith. I mean, you can't go into 2021 with a receiving core of Tyrell Williams. Like
yeah
Devontae Smith just makes sense. You brought in a new quarterback. You want to try and make him feel comfortable. Take Devontae Smith. You might ruin his career because it's Detroit and Detroit stinks. Sorry, Lions fans, but I still think it's just the right pick because they lost Kenny Golladay and they lost Matthew Stafford. So
yeah
you gotta take a
they
receiver
gotta
here.
they gotta take a receiver. They gotta give a little help to Jared Goff.
Excited, man.
Um,
This is like if they take a receiver here, which is pretty straightforward. They also lost Marvin Jones, but if they take a receiver here, guess who's still on the
and
board? Fields and Mac Jones.
and
This
and
is
Car- with Carolina and Denver
Denver,
up after
exactly.
this, they could both not take a quarterback. with their quarterback situation and the trades that have been going on, including them, which leaves at 10, where the Cowboys are definitely not taking a B because they have their franchise guy
The
in Dak
Lions draft
Prescott.
room
Dak
is
Prescott.
going
So
crazy here.
it's gonna be crazy.
Let's see what they take. With the 7th pick, the Detroit Lions select Penei Sewell. That's dumb. Like, what are they doing, dude? I get you have to block for your running back, but come on, man. Just take Devontae Smith to get Goff comfortable. We just talked about you needing a receiver, dude. He's good. He's really good,
Who's Goff
and he's
gonna pass to
versatile.
now? Who's Goff gonna pass now? It's
Exactly.
and he's 6'6", like 235, something like that. He's a big guy. He has quick awareness, quick feet. He can block anywhere. He's very versatile on the offensive line. And your thoughts is that he's not even the best lineman in the draft.
I don't think he's the best blocker in the draft. I think he's very athletic, which he'll be able to develop those skills, but he's definitely not the best pure blocker in the draft. But I mean, it's just frustrating if you're a Lions fan right here. He's going to be really good. I think he's got a lot of potential, but if he goes down with injuries, I just don't think it's the right pick. And then we're going to talk about the Panthers pick in just a second.
What are
Actually, we
what are your
predict.
predictions?
What are your predictions for the Panthers? Let's see. Fields could go here. Jones could
Fields
go
could go
here.
here. Jones could go here.
Or I
Oh,
think the first defensive player could go off the board. They could take Surtain or J.C.
or
Horn.
J.C. Horn. Yeah,
We'll see what
that's
happens.
tough. All right, and pick number 8 is in. The Carolina Panthers select J.C. Horn, the cornerback out of South Carolina. We both predicted in our mock drafts that he was the better corner over Patrick Surtain from Alabama. We both had J.C. Horn going a little later at 10 to the Cowboys. What are your thoughts on this pick?
I love this pick. I think this is a great pick for Carolina, team that needs secondary help. He's going to be a great corner, especially at the NFL level. He's big. He's physical. He's actually not that big, but he's a physical corner, and he has great ball skills. Like I don't know if you're in the highlights, he can get his hand on the ball. He has great hands for catching the ball. I like this pick, especially if it shows that they're showing confidence in Sam Darnold. And I think that's something that the Jets never showed, really. It was always talks about them trading him and stuff like that. And if he's confident that he has the job, maybe he'll go out there and he'll perform.
Yeah, another thing about J.C. Horn is he had a great pro day, and on the highlights he's smooth, he's more explosive than Surtain, and he only had 2 interceptions, but he's amazing. He's a 6'1", 205. He's just a great cornerback. 6
He
passes deflected, so
he's a great
we'll
tackler
see how he
too,
pans
which
out.
is like you can put him one-on-one with a bigger guy and he can
Yeah,
bring him to the ground. He can also
yeah,
hit. Uh,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
Pick number
Let's
9,
see.
Denver. They
Give me
need
your
they need
prediction.
some defensives. They need a wide receiver. I'm going back and forth between Devonta Smith. They could also take Patrick Surtain. Those are my two. I'm kind of going back and forth between. What about you?
I don't know. I think the receiver one, they do need a third receiver, but it's not like the biggest need in the world. They got Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, who they just drafted. Noah Fant can go out to receiver from tight end. But I do think that they do need a corner, but I don't think they take Surtain here. I actually think they might take Micah Parsons, linebacker, Penn State. Especially since they just traded for another quarterback. I think they might be happy with the way their offense is, and they need inside linebackers. So Surtain is great, but Parsons can play inside, and that's something that they might need.
Yeah, and the best case scenario for the Pats is the next league pick. 'Cause if the Broncos just take a defender or something like that, Dallas is obviously not taking a QB. Where they have Dak Prescott, and then hopefully the Giants. Hopefully they give Daniel Jones another couple of years, try to see how he pans out. So that's the best case scenario of the next 3 picks
Oh yeah,
for the
Nate, you might
Pats.
be right about the corner because I forgot that the Broncos lost AJ Bouye in the offseason, their
Yeah,
best cornerback, I
yeah.
think. So we'll see. We'll see this pick in about 3 minutes. With the 9th overall pick, the Denver Broncos take Patrick Surtain, the second corner taken this draft. I love this pick. Again, I think always taking corners is always a good move, especially big physical guys that can. He reminds me a lot of Jalen Ramsey actually. Let me just pull up his highlights right here.
Yeah, Patrick Surtain, he's obviously the second best cornerback in the class. 12 passes deflected. He only had one interception, but he's great out of Alabama. He's amazing.
He's
2020 SEC Defensive Player of the Year. His father played as a cornerback in the NFL for 11 years. So
He's
it's gonna
versatile.
be
He can play
interesting
in
to see how
zone. He
he
can
pans
play
out.
in man. He's a guy that would fit very well into the Patriots system, but they actually don't need a corner right now, so they didn't take him. But
Yeah,
he's
and
any corner out of
Smith.
Alabama is always good.
Mhm.
But still
Smith
on the
Smith is
board,
dropping. Jones is dropping,
Fields.
and Fields is dropping. I mean, we both wrong. We both had five
Yeah,
cornerbacks going in the top 10, and only three have been taken so far. We did predict that
exactly.
a wide receiver was gonna drop, but it's gonna be. What's your thoughts for this pick right here,
Um,
Dallas Cowboys?
let's see. I think that the Cowboys now that Surtain's off the board, I think they go offensive tackle here. I think they take Rashaan Slater out of Northwestern, a guy that looked great blocking against Chase Young the one time they played in college. He completely shut him down. The only high school or the only college offensive lineman to do that. And the Cowboys play the Redskins or the football team twice a year. And actually, the
They just
Cowboys trade the
traded the
pick.
pick to
They
the
traded the
Eagles.
pick to the
A
Eagles. That makes a
crazy.
huge difference.
That
Here
makes a
goes Devontae
crazy
Smith, dude.
difference.
This is almost certain that this is happening. Get what I
Oh
said there
yeah,
because
Devontae
Patrick
Smith is
Surtain
a
just went.
lock. Devontae
You didn't hear
Smith
the
is a
joke.
lock.
I said it. It's
What did he
almost
say?
certain that he goes
Oh
because
yeah, that's
Surtain just
nice.
went
That's
out.
nice. That's nice. But yeah, it's
Here,
almost certain
yeah.
that they go to
They
Devon
need
Smith
they
right
need
here.
receivers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jill,
we'll tell
Jill,
you when the pick comes
yeah.
in.
And pick 10 is in. The Eagles select one of Alabama, Devonta Smith, Heisman Trophy winner.
He did
But we
win
wanted
the
to
Heisman
include
Trophy.
that the
Nate's lagging a little bit,
Eagles
so I'm going to talk
had
over
the
him right
sixth
here.
pick originally.
Sorry, Nate, you were lagging, so
Can you
I just let him know what you were saying. I said you were talking about him being the Heisman Trophy winner, uh, and
Yeah, and it's
how you're good now. You're good.
important to note that they had the sixth pick and they traded back to 12, and now they traded up to 10th. What are your thoughts on Devonta
I
Smith too?
I think that shows that they knew all along that they were going to get one of those top three receivers. They just didn't care which one, which I kind of agree with. They're all going to be superstar guys, and the Eagles just needed someone. It didn't even need to be like a specific type, just anyone to catch the ball. And
Yeah, I
I think him
totally
and Hurts are going to be great
agree.
together. And a big trade just came through. The Bears got the 11th pick for the Giants' 20th overall, and the Giants got the Bears 20th, the Bears 2022 first, the Bears 2022 fourth, and the fifth round pick this year.
But this is not for the past because it looks like the Chicago is gonna take a QB. Their starting QB is Andy Dalton right now, so you never know. But it's not
Yeah,
looking good.
I
Devonta
think
Smith,
Justin Fields. I
Heisman
think Justin.
Trophy winner.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Devonta Smith. He had 1,800 yards, 117 receptions, and 23 TDs, which is
Yeah,
just crazy. Even though Waddle, what he still put up the work.
yeah, I think Smith is a great pick right here for the Eagles. They need a receiver. He's a good one. He's going to be a number one option, but he was number two to Waddle, which is why I think he's the third best in the class. But this next pick is in now for Chicago. My prediction is it's got to be Fields or Jones. I'm gonna go with Fields. I hope it's not Fields because I want the Pats to get him, but we'll see. What's your pick, Nate?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Fields is a better option, and I think they're gonna go with the better option, which is sad to say because it was looking good for the Pats for a little while now. But the next two picks are Dallas, which we've already talked about. They have their Dak Prescott. I always mix those up. And then the 13th is the Chargers. They have their quarterback and Herbert. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how these quarterbacks. Hopefully they drop to this.
Yep. With the
And
go ahead.
oh yeah, with the 11th pick, it's a sad day in New England because we were hoping to get them. 11th pick, the Chicago Bears select Justin Fields out of Ohio State. And as much as Ohio State quarterbacks haven't really panned out, I think Justin Fields is the real deal. What are your thoughts on the
He's
pick?
so good, bro. He's a 5-star out of high school. He's so athletic. He's got the arm strength. He's got everything you look for. The only complaint was he doesn't look past his first read. What was that on the highlight then? That was looking past his first read, just right there. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's
like he's so good, dude. Why couldn't the Patriots just get some balls and trade up, bro? Oh my god, now they're gonna be stuck
I
with
mean,
Mac Jones is gonna weigh in at training camp at 400 pounds. This beer belly, dude. 28
it's
years old,
sad.
rookie.
It's
Dude,
sad. It's sad. Fields is good though.
he's really
Ohio
good. Good pick
State.
for the
He
Bears if you're a Bears
they
fan.
upset Clemson, 2,100 yards, 22 TDs, only six interceptions, and not that bad, but 6'3", 228. Um, he's great. He's a great guy, and I wish him the best of luck over in Chicago because I don't care about Chicago at all. So he can play it however he wants to play. But it hurts. We wanted Belichick was gonna get him. He was it's tough. It's tough.
All
But with the
right,
next
well,
pick, the
pick is in for
Cowboys.
Dallas. It's got to be Rashaan Slater, the offensive tackle.
Yeah,
Both the good corners are off the board, I think. I think that's who it's gonna be.
yeah, I totally agree. They need him, and it'd be stupid of them not to take him.
Yeah, unless it's Christian Darrisaw, but that's the other offensive
Yeah,
tackle.
yeah,
With the 12th pick in the 2021 draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Micah Parsons, linebacker at Penn State. He's a versatile guy. He plays inside. He can blitz. He can get off blocks. He can guard running backs, tight ends. I love this pick. He's definitely the best linebacker in the class. Uh, but at the same time, Dallas, you had so much trouble with your offensive line last year. Don't you think that would have been the best pick? But I do like this pick. They needed a linebacker, especially since they've been dealing with injuries there. It's always good to get linebacker depth. I just don't think this is the biggest need for them, but he's very, very good. And
yeah. I think it was the he was another guy that opted out of the season last season. He was an AP All American first team in 2019. He had four first fumbles, which was tied with fifth in college football. He had 5 sacks. Linebacker.
yeah, I know he was awesome. I think this is a great pick for Dallas. But what is this next pick going to be? This is the Chargers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I think that this has
I'm
to be
going
an
back and
offensive
forth. I think they're
lineman.
gonna take an offensive lineman. Yeah,
Yeah, it's got
it's
to
got to
be
be.
it's got to be Slater or Darisaw again. Of course they're gonna probably go out there and surprise me and go take Mac Jones.
Yeah,
I don't
they
actually think that's gonna happen.
better not. They better not. They better not. They better not.
Yeah. All right. We'll see
So
when
yeah.
that pick happens. With
Wait.
13th pick in the NFL draft, who was on the clock? The Chargers select Rashawn Slater. We both called this one. Great offensive tackle. We both thought this was a really good pick.
Out of Northwestern, he's on the blind side. He opted out of
Yeah.
last season, which is another thing all these top prospects did. A lot of them did. 6'4", 300 pounds. He said it getting interviewed. He's gonna be there for Herbert. And the 14th pick the Jets traded up to select Elijah Vera Tucker from USC, a
Offensive
guard,
guard.
to protect their second pick, Zach Wilson. What do you think of this
I
pick?
also think that they're going to take a running back later in the draft, and they're going to he'll be a great run blocker for them because there's good options later in this draft. The Patriots pick is in. Did you know that only one? So out of they've picked 53 players lately, and
Yeah.
only one of them has made the Pro Bowl, and that was their punter. The Patriots pick is in. Let's listen in.
All right, let's listen.
Oh no, never mind. It's not in, or it is in, but they're talking about food shelters.
Oh yeah. Back to Elijah Vera Tucker. You know, he's consistent. He's a good anchor. He only allowed 1 sack last season, and he also has the position flexibility that the offensive lineman you love to see. Um, the Pats pick is almost in. It's talking about the guy.
Don Con. That's a sick name.
Join the NFL.
Who do you think they're gonna take, dude? If they take Mac Jones, I'm gonna be pumped.
Jones.
Actually, I'm not gonna be pumped. I don't want Mac the Beer Belly Jones on my team, dude.
Here we go.
Ready? Nate, turn down your volume. You can listen through mine. They're booing.
Mac Jones.
What? No, I hate Mac Jones.
It's confirmed. We got the QB.
There's the Bowers, the
Alabama. Wow. Crazy. What are your thoughts on this pick?
I kind of wanted Justin Fields with. I can't even be mad, bro. I'm kind of pumped for this, dude. Finally, a young quarterback. Oh my god, I'm literally excited, dude. Big Bill Belichick, bro. I love you, bro. I love you, Bill. I love you, Bill.
And I think that's gonna wrap up the podcast.
It is.
We're gonna be
Follow us to
posting
TikTok,
12:15, right, on Friday.
12:15. We can do 12:15.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, because that's right where the lunch is in the flex, you know.
Yep. All right, yeah, let's do. We'll post it at 12:15. Follow the TikTok, follow the Instagram, and peace out.